I always thought I knew my dad. He was quiet, hardworking, the kind of guy who never missed a bill, never raised his voice, and never, ever lied. At least, that's what I believed. Until one random Tuesday night, when I found something on his phone that completely destroyed everything I thought I knew about my family. And the worst part? That wasn't even the biggest secret. I'm 22 years old, living in Ohio, and up until last year, my life was pretty normal. It was just me, my mom, and my dad. We weren't rich or anything, but we were comfortable. My dad worked long hours as an electrician, and my mom stayed home most of the time. Dinner together every night. Weekend grocery runs. Watching TV in the living room. Nothing special, but nothing broken either. If you asked me back then, I would have told you I had a perfect family. And I meant it. My dad wasn't the emotional type. He didn't say I love you a lot. He didn't hug me often. But he showed up. Every school event. Every birthday. Every time I needed help. He was consistent. Predictable. Safe. That's why what happened next didn't just shock me. It shattered me. It was around 11 p.m. I was sitting in the living room scrolling on my phone when my dad walked in, clearly exhausted. He had just come back from work. He dropped his keys on the table, sat down for a second, then suddenly got a call. He looked at the screen. And something about his expression changed. Not panic. Not fear. But something I had never seen before. He immediately stood up and walked outside to take the call. That was weird. He never did that. At first, I didn't think much of it. Maybe it was a work call. But then 5 minutes passed. 10 minutes. 15 minutes. He was still outside. Talking. And not just talking. Whispering. I don't know why, but something in my gut told me. Something wasn't right. When he came back inside, he looked different. Quiet. Distracted. He didn't even say goodnight like he usually did. He just went straight to his room. But here's the thing. He forgot his phone on the couch. Now listen. I'm not the kind of person who goes through someone else's phone. Especially not my dad's. But that night, I don't know. Something pushed me. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was instinct. Or maybe, deep down, I already knew I was about to find something I wasn't supposed to see. I picked up his phone. My hands were literally shaking. I didn't even know what I was looking for. But then, a notification popped up. From a contact saved as Emily. My heart dropped. Emily? That's not my mom's name. I shouldn't have opened it. I really shouldn't have. But I did. And the moment I read the first message, I felt like the ground disappeared beneath me. It said, "The kids miss you, when are you coming back?" The kids? What kids? My mind started racing. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. Maybe it's just a friend. Maybe. No. I scrolled up. And what I saw next destroyed every excuse I was trying to make. Photos. Messages. Years of conversations. Not weeks. Not months. Years. There were pictures of my dad. With another woman. Smiling. Holding hands. And then, pictures of 2 kids. A boy and a girl. They looked happy. Like a family. A real family. That's when it hit me. This wasn't an affair. This wasn't something recent. This was a whole other life. My dad didn't just cheat. He had another family. I kept scrolling. Back and back and back. Until I saw the dates. Messages going all the way back. 15 years. 15 years. I couldn't breathe. I felt sick. My hands were shaking so bad I almost dropped the phone. All those nights he said he was working late. All those business trips. All those times he wasn't home. He wasn't working. He was with them. I didn't know what to do. Do I confront him? Do I tell my mom? Do I pretend I never saw anything? Every option felt wrong. Every option felt like it would destroy something. And then I heard footsteps coming down the hallway. My heart stopped. It was my dad. I had his phone in my hand. The messages still open. And I had exactly 1 second to decide. Do I hide it? Or do I confront him right there? Because whatever I chose, there was no going back. I froze. My dad's footsteps were getting closer. My heart was pounding so loud I thought he could hear it. I had his phone in my hand. The messages still open. His entire secret life right there in front of me. For a split second, I thought about putting it back and pretending I never saw anything. But I couldn't. I just couldn't. He walked into the living room. And the moment he saw me holding his phone, he stopped. Completely still. Our eyes locked. And in that moment, he knew. He didn't even have to ask. Neither of us said anything for a few seconds. It felt like time just paused. Then finally, I said it. Who is Emily? My voice didn't even sound like mine. My dad looked at me, then at the phone, then back at me. And instead of getting angry, instead of denying it, he just sighed. Like he was tired. Like he knew this day was coming. He slowly walked over, sat down on the chair across from me, and said something I will never forget. He said, "I was going to tell you someday, just not like this." That sentence alone told me everything I didn't want to hear. He didn't try to lie. He didn't try to hide it anymore. He told me the truth. Her name was Emily. He met her 15 years ago. When things between him and my mom were bad. Really bad. They were fighting all the time. Almost separating. And in that time, he met someone else. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So instead of fixing your marriage, you started another one? I snapped. He didn't answer immediately. Which was basically an answer. Then he told me something that hit even harder. They don't know about you. I blinked. What? The kids, they think I'm there full-time. They think I'm just away for work sometimes. My stomach dropped. So not only was he lying to us, he was lying to them too. He had built 2 separate lives. 2 families. 2 realities. And somehow, for 15 years, he kept them completely separate. Birthdays. Holidays. Weekends. All divided. All planned. All fake. I looked at him and asked the one thing that was killing me inside. Do you love them more than us? He looked down. Didn't answer. And that silence? That silence hurt more than anything he could have said. I stood up. I couldn't sit there anymore. Everything felt unreal. Like my entire childhood had just been rewritten in front of me. Every memory. Every moment. All of it felt fake. I turned to him and said, "Does Mom know?" He immediately shook his head. No. Of course she didn't. And now, everything was in my hands. If I told her, our family would be destroyed. If I didn't, I'd be protecting a lie. A 15-year lie. That night, I didn't sleep. I just sat in my room, staring at the ceiling, thinking about everything. My mom, my dad, those kids, that other life. The next morning, I saw my mom in the kitchen, making breakfast like always, smiling, acting normal, like nothing was wrong. And that's when it hit me the hardest. She had no idea. I almost broke down right there. Because I realized, whatever I do next, her life will never be the same again. I wish I could tell you I made the perfect decision. I didn't. I just made the only one I could live with. I told her everything. The messages, the photos, the other family, all of it. At first, she didn't believe me. She thought I misunderstood. She thought it wasn't real. Until I showed her the proof. And then, I watched her heart break in real time. There was no screaming. No drama. Just silence. The kind of silence that feels heavier than anything. Within a week, my dad moved out. No big fight. No closure. Just gone. But here's the part that still messes with me. A few months later, I got a message from an unknown number. It said, "Hi. I think we have the same dad." It was the girl from the photos. My half-sister. We talked, shared everything, and realized something terrifying. We both thought we had a normal family. We both thought our dad was honest. We were both wrong. Sometimes, the people you trust the most are the ones hiding the biggest secrets. And the truth? It doesn't just change your future. It rewrites your entire past.